Mike Wall is a senior writer at the website space.com. He's also written a book about the search for alien life. It's called Out There. He's joining us from San Francisco. Michael, of course, Neil Armstrong, when he set foot on the moon, talked about one small step for man, a giant leap for mankind. Today, a Massachusetts congresswoman tweeted, "One giant leap for one womankind." Talk to us about the significance of what we saw today.
Yeah, yeah. It's sort of like a long overdue milestone when you think about it. I mean, spaceflight has been like typically dominated by men, and I mean middle-aged white men or sort of men in their 30s. I mean that's what the Apollo program was. Sort of they were all kind of like ex-fighter pilots, Navy test pilots, fighter pilots, and that's kind of how it was for a while. And that's changing now, obviously. And like, I mean, NASA has made a concerted effort to get up like a more diverse astronaut corps, get more people with different talents from different backgrounds of all different types of people. And you're really seeing that happen now. Yeah, I mean, we're getting more and more types of people, more and more types of scientists. It's just not, yeah, it's not just for test pilots anymore. And that, I mean, we like saw that today.
Yeah, and different backgrounds. Mir and Cook, very interesting women. Mir studied penguins at one point in her career. Cook, someone who's an avid rock climber back here on Earth. What do they bring to the space program?
Yeah, and this is something also that's very important, right? I mean, NASA is making a real priority to bring more scientists on board because what they want to do is sort of is not just like flags and footprint stuff like Apollo was, where you just needed people who were brave and could fly spacecraft. Like what they want to do is actually settle on like on the moon, set up like a very sustainable presence there, and then do that on Mars too. And you're going to need people from a variety of backgrounds to help you do that. You're going to need a lot of smart people in a lot of different fields, from science and yeah, like into technology in a bunch of different ways. And so that's sort of what we're seeing here. I mean, these are all high achievers, but they're high achievers in like a bunch of different relevant fields.
Yeah, and they also described how they're dreamers as well. Spacesuits and how they fit, though, actually stood in the way of this getting done earlier, right?
Yeah, like we were supposed to see the first all-female spacewalk this past March, but they had to kind of call it off at the last minute because they couldn't kind of mobilize properly fitting spacesuits at the time. It was, yeah. I mean, people like me remember that it like kind of caused a bit of a hubbub on social media. It was a safety issue more than anything. They just wanted to make sure that they could get like these suits that fit really really well for both of the spacewalkers. And now they've got all the gear that they needed on the station, which can be mobilized quickly. And yeah, and so like we saw history today.
Yeah, this is all going to pave the way for another mission slated for 2024 when the U.S. is hoping to put a man and the first woman on the moon. And now they're talking about these astronauts actually setting up 3D scans and all of that sort of thing so that they can be custom fit, almost sort of like we get custom fit suits down here. Kind of seems like they should have been doing that a long time ago. Talk to me about this mission in 2024. How important is that going to be?
It's a really big deal. Nobody has been on the moon since 1972, which seems really amazing. I mean, if you'd asked NASA back then, if you'd asked all those Apollo moonwalkers where we would be by 2019, most of them probably would have said, well, we'd have a base on Mars and so on. And yeah, it's just things have changed, and NASA has been kind of pulled this way and that by various administrations, and they haven't been allowed to sort of maintain one long-term vision. But now they're like starting to get back to that now. The 2024 mission is a huge step toward like setting up like a moon base, which with a permanent human presence there, not necessarily always staffed, but having people like kind of going up there regularly. And then like that's what NASA wants to do by 2028. And then from there, all that work is to prep us for the ultimate destination, which is Mars. That's what everybody's shooting for in the human spaceflight community. Like we want a Mars base, we want to explore Mars, look for signs of life, and that's the really big leap that we're looking forward to in the future.
Michael, we've got about 20 seconds. Is this the golden age of space exploration in a sense?
I think we're on the cusp of it. I mean, you're seeing so many exciting things happen. I mean, but yeah, not just with government space programs, but also in the private sector. SpaceX is building giant rockets to colonize Mars. All this stuff is happening right now. So people should appreciate that.
Very exciting time. Michael Wall, thanks for joining us from San Francisco.